Friends, let's talk about responsibility in this session. I want to really share the importance of taking responsibility, not just only in personal development, but also taking responsibility is a major part of being mature, of being a grown-up. So, taking responsibility for your life is very important in your personal development. Personal development doesn't happen automatically. It's something that you become intentional about. So even in life, if you are to grow, if you have to grow and do certain things, you have to be responsible for your life. For you to be considered a mature person, you have to be responsible for your life, not only for your life, but even for the consequences of the decisions that you are making. That is taking responsibility. We say this is a responsible young man. It's because the person is able to take responsibility for their decisions and the consequences of their decisions and actions. So it is very important, if you are to develop yourself, if you are to engage in the ultimate personal development, you have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your life. You have to take responsibility for your personal development. Taking responsibility for whatever happens to you, knowing that you consciously made the decision that are now affecting you. So you are taking responsibility for everything, for whatever happens to you. Why are you are not blaming others or giving excuses, but you are taking responsibility, reason, knowing that everything, it's because of the decisions that you consciously made that are now affecting you. So you may not be able to do certain things because back then you did not take the responsibility to learn that skill so that you may be able to do the thing right now. That is very important. So many people love to just give excuses, love to give excuses and blaming others. Let me tell you, you always find excuses that seems to be valid, that are valid. But if you want to change your life, you need to stop letting the circumstances determine who you become in life or what you can do. You can begin to develop yourself now, taking responsibility for your future. You know the future, the kind of life, you have an idea of the kind of life that you want to have. So since you have that clear vision and purpose for your life, what you need now is to take responsibility and begin to work on building that future. So you may not have all the necessary resources that are needed for you to be there, but one thing I can share with you is that there is always something you can do right now, even if you don't have the equipment or the tools and resources that you need to achieve what you want. But you can start from somewhere. You can start maybe by reading a book. You can start maybe by like taking a course like this. This is taking responsibility for your life, taking responsibility, not blaming others, not giving excuses. You are responsible when you stop giving excuses for whatever happens to you and for your life. So it's very important that we get to this point which Jim Rohn is talking about, where you take responsibility for whatever happens to you, knowing that you consciously made the decisions that are now affecting you. So the decisions that you made, they created your future, which is the now you have. Then your present life right now was your future back then, and the decisions that you made created this present that you have, which was your future now. So even now, your decisions today are creating the future that will become your present then. This is very important. I love what Jim Rohn used to say. Say that 5 years or 10 years from now you will arrive. But the question is, where are you going to arrive? Because you don't want to arrive driving the car that you hate so much, living a life that you don't love. There is a place where you want to be. So 10 years from now, you will arrive. which means time will pass anyway, and you get to 10 years from now. But where would you be 10 years from now? So it's high time that we started working on creating that future which we see for ourselves. Because if we just sit, if we keep giving excuses, if we keep blaming others, it is not doing us a service. It's not helping us. It is, in other words, doing us a disservice. So it's very important that you take responsibility for whatever happens to you, knowing that you consciously made the decisions that are now affecting. If you are broke now, take responsibility for that situation. If you don't have whatever, if you lost certain things, just take responsibility. Because the moment you begin to blame others or giving excuses, what will happen to you is that it impairs you from doing something about your situation. Blaming others will validate you to keep complaining and moping about what is happening to you instead of doing something about it. So when you take responsibility for your future, for what has happened, what has happened to you right now, you will know that since I take responsibility for what is happening to me right now, I can take even responsibility for what will happen to me in the future, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. So you will alive 10 years from now, but the question is where. This is why responsibility is very important. Taking responsibility for your future, for your personal development, and for your life is very important. Knowing that what is happening today is a direct result of your activities, what you did yesterday. So it's very important, like I've said, you realize that what is happening today right now is the direct result of your activities, that your activities, what you did yesterday. So your future today is as a result of what you've been doing in the past. So if you want your present day, sorry, not your future, your present day is as a result of what you did in the past. So if you want your future to be better, then change what you are doing. Be intentional about what you're doing in your present, because your present is creating your future. The activities of your present is creating your future. So it's very important to know that you are aware of it, so that you become intentional about what you're doing today, because you understand that it is creating the results, it's creating the future that you want. Your decisions today are like pieces of a puzzle, and a puzzle as a picture. So those pieces, when you are putting them together in the right way, they are creating that picture for your life. That picture, even the same way, that is the vision, that is your future. So make sure you are intentional about creating the future that you want. This is why engaging in the ultimate personal development is very important. Why? Because you are realizing this, that life is not an accident. It's not mystical. It's predictable. If you can know what to do, you can create the future that you want today. So stop giving excuses, complaining and blaming others or circumstances, and take responsibility for your life and the things that affect you. Take responsibility for things that affect you, your life. There are certain things that you can't control in this life. There are certain circumstances, there are certain tragedies that may hit your life, but you can control how you react to them or how you respond to them. You can choose to give excuses not to do something about those situations. You can choose to do that. Take responsibility for your life and what affects you, the things that affect you. You take responsibility. It is very important. If you shift your mindset to this, then stop giving excuses. Make sure you just make a commitment not to give excuses, not to complain, not to blame others, even if they are justifying reasons to give excuses, to blame others or complain. It doesn't matter. Don't do that. Just take responsibility for your life and the things that affect you. Does that make sense to us? So by not being prepared, you make a choice of getting caught in some of life unpleasant circumstances. Now, this is a profound statement that I want us to understand. So if you take responsibility for your life and for your future, what happens then? Then automatically you know that you have to begin to prepare for that future. So for example, you take courses like this. The reason why you are taking courses like this, you are preparing yourself for that future. Now, you realize that you need to take responsibility for your life, and then you are not preparing yourself, which means by not being prepared, you have made a choice, you have made a decision to be caught by life's unpleasant circumstances. It is mind-blowing how people sometimes they understand this, but they don't prepare themselves. They say that by failure to plan is planning to fail. Success is when preparation meets with opportunities. The truth is that opportunities will come in this life, but if you are not prepared for them, you miss them and you will not succeed. But if you begin to prepare yourself, to build yourself today, to learn something today, what will happen is that when an opportunity and time happen, chances happen to you, then you can seize them and take advantage of them. You find that most of the people who are successful today, it's because they prepared, and when their time and chance came, they seized the opportunities, and that's the reason why they succeeded, and they are still succeeding because they have learned the principle. They keep preparing themselves for more opportunities. The truth is that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the rich. Time and chances happens to them all. Time and chances happens to them all, but it's very important that you begin to prepare yourself so that you can make the most of the time and chances which comes your way. So for things change when you change, and they get better when you get better. Therefore, change things that you can control and don't focus on what you cannot control. So things change when you change. Why is it that way? It's because the things that are happening in your life right now, most of them are determined by what you've been doing in the past. So if you change what you have been doing, then the results will also change, the things will change. And if you get better, which means the things will also get better for you. So change the things that you can change and don't focus on what you can control. There are things that are outside our control. But if we can take advantage of what we can change, what we can control, how we react, we can control how we react to situations that happen to us. We can choose how we react. We can change how we react or how we respond. So those are the things that you can control. So focus on those things, because most of the time people focus on what they can't control. As a result, they are paralyzed by just focusing on that, because they think even if I do this, there are these other things that I can't control. I'm telling you, what you can change, what you can control makes a difference in life. It makes a huge difference. So it's not that there are no problems in the world, but it's because some people are focused on what they cannot control, and those who are focused on to change what they can control are the ones that are taking advantage of those opportunities, because problems are business opportunities. They are business opportunities. When you provide a solution to a problem, that is business. You make money. People can pay you for the problems that they are facing. You solve their problems. That is very important. So things change when you change. They get better when you get better. By being prepared, you increase your chance of success and seizing opportunities when they come your way. That is very true and straightforward. So when you begin to prepare yourself today, whatever you need to start is within your reach. It is at your disposal. Sometimes we deceive ourselves thinking, no, I don't have capital, I don't have what I need to start. There is always have what you need to start with. The problem is that sometimes we think we need a lot of money, we need a lot of resources to start creating our future. No, whatever you need to start to change your life, to create the future that you want, is within your reach right now, is at your disposal. That is the truth, and that is the principle of life. It is at your disposal. So just take responsibility. Therefore, taking responsibility of your future by taking responsibility for your personal development. That's why it's very important to engage in courses like this. You are taking responsibility for your future by taking responsibility for your personal development, because personal development focuses on developing yourself. As you develop yourself, what happens then? You become better. When you become better, what happens then? The things become better in your life. This is why it is very important you take responsibility. There can never be personal development without taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is vital to personal development, not just to personal development, but to life in general. It's very important that you take responsibility for your life. So we are still, let's go to the next one. There is more content. Make sure you keep on following the courses, otherwise there is more content coming your way. So I hope you have gotten one or two things on responsibility, taking responsibility for your life and your personal development.